What's up, y'all? This is Showtime Fight Form. I'm your boy, Josh Showtime, and thank you for watching, as always. Make sure you like, subscribe, comment, and all that good stuff. You already know we talk all things fight related, and let's get into the nitty gritty. Today's gonna be a recap of UFC 286. All right, listen, I said 286. I meant 283. We already started off right, but it don't matter. We make mistakes out here. Just gotta clean them up. Hey, I'm about to brag, because I told you, I take my L's when I need to take my L's, but when I'm right, I'm bragging. Your boy started off this year hot, fire. All right, 4-1, let's get it. And here's the thing, I even guessed the rounds with some of these joints, like the Brandon Moreno and the Figgy fight, third round TKO. Who said that? You know, maybe me. First round stoppage for Johnny Walker. Who said that? Me. I mean, listen, man, if you want money, man, look, cash app below at Joshua Showtime, all right? Make sure you give me my money, okay? You can find me on Venmo at Showtime Sanders. Look, it don't matter. Find me, pay up if you made some money, because I know I want somebody some money. And I should have got the Lauren Murphy fight. I should have got that fight right too, but you know, the referee didn't want to help me out because I was that. But like I said, the only one I got right was the main event. We'll talk about that in a little bit. But, you know, let's just talk about the card overall. Fire card to start the year. Super good pay-per-view card to start the year. So many good fights, so many crazy knockouts, so many crazy finishes. I mean, Terrence McKinney got knocked the hell out. Good Lord. And the brothers, I mean, what can we really say? They showed out in Brazil. I was disappointed in Terrence McKinney. Thought he would have came out a little better than that, but I'm learning this game, man. He's kind of he's a guy that likes to strike, and he can wrestle, but his cardio isn't great. Two, he's not technical. He's kind of a wild guy that trusts his athleticism. He's very athletic, very lanky, and he leans on that. And he's pretty predictable. Got caught up, but at the end of the day, he took it on the chin. Got to get better. Hope he does get better. I think he's an interesting guy. I think he's a bit of a clout chaser. However, I still think he's a very talented fighter. Shogun, oh Lord. At the end of the day, he should have retired years ago. But, I mean, the UFC, they tried to look out for you, but then again, it kind of didn't. It is what it is, man. But you know, at the end of the day, you're an absolute legend. It's a pleasure to watch your career. I didn't start watching in your Pride days. I can't sit here and be like, oh, I remember him in Pride and just blah, blah, knocking people out. Bro, I was in like middle school. I was not into fights. I was not into that kind. Only thing I like was football. But later in when you did go to the UFC, that's when I actually around the time I first started watching fights. And I was a fan and I started liking fights and things like that. And Shogun, I used to always just think like, bro, he looks like he's 40. And then it turns out he's like 25. Like, he's 25. That man looked 40. But amazing career. You're an absolute legend in the game. You're top 3 light heavyweight in the world. Ever, in my opinion. I got John Jones 1, DC 2, and honestly 3. I'm gonna put Shogun. I think that Shogun, like his Pride run, like now obviously being a fan and going back to watch these Pride videos, seeing when he did the Rampage, him beating Prime, Alistair Overeem, beating Lil Nog. Like this guy has, like he beat the who's at 205. Period. In his prime. So you have to give respect to that. Like I said, he's, in my opinion, the 3rd best light heavyweight to ever fight. One of the greatest Brazilian, in my opinion, the greatest light heavyweight that is a Brazilian. We already know, like, when the UFC first came around, Brazilians ruled the entire world when it came to MMA. And he was just one of those legends that came around. So respect to you, great career. And, you know, hey, look forward to hopefully you know, coach, or if you have kids or anything like that, whatever your next journey, look forward to seeing what it's going to be like. Seem like a nice guy. Now, you know, also they retired my boy Jose. You know, I already said it. Jose's one of my favorite fighters ever. One of the most exciting fighters ever. I've never seen a human being adapt to wrestling so easily and so naturally, so athletic. Like his boxing was so good. I mean, the quick twitches, even no matter who's 35, this man still's quicker, had better boxing than most people that was in the freaking 135. Went down to 135, and everybody thought he should go up, and went down to 135, and still dominated. Like, yeah, he lost when he went against the elite, but they also were in their prime. And 135 is arguably the toughest division in the world. So the fact that he was still remaining competitive, beating pretty much the who's, losing to like the very, very best. I mean, like I said, Jose's the man. I love Jose. He's a guy, no matter what area you put him in, he will always be a world championship caliber fighter. But let's get into these the main card of the fights, okay? First fight, Johnny Walker, Spawn Crew. Listen, I called it. Johnny Walker was patient. He was just waiting for our opening, and then he capitalized on it. But we have to realize, Paul Craig he's figured out. Bro, you gotta evolve, bro. If not, you will be out the UFC very, very soon. Because we know what you want to do. Evolve, get better. Stop trying to be just a specialist. It's hard to be just a specialist, especially when your specialty is just jiu-jitsu. Because you gotta get it's not UFC 1 anymore. You can't just say and rely on just being able to take everybody down or just pulling guard against everybody and getting a submission. It can work, but it only can work so much. Much easier to be a specialist that's not a grappler, but a wrestler, or a specialist that's a striker, because at the end of the day, the fight starts on the feet. It's easier, not saying that it's the best, because you should be well-rounded anywhere, but I feel like if this is toughest to be a specialist, it's 100% people that do jiu-jitsu. I wouldn't recommend it. But good win for Johnny. We'll see what's on the way for you. 205, I mean, it's not a good weight class anymore, but there's plenty of fights out there for you to continue to build up and see if you're ready for a potential title fight, but you're still like 3 or 4 fights away. Next fight, who else we have? We have Lauren Murphy versus Jessica Andrade. I mean, bro, what did I tell you? like, do I really get to do? What did I tell you? Jessica Andrade is a problem. It doesn't matter. Like, that was a terrible matchup for Lauren. Like, that was an easy fight to call. Lauren Murphy does things well. She does nothing great. Literally nothing. She's very tough. We saw that. But that toughness it didn't really work to her benefit. She got beat up very bad. They said the Weili fight and Joanna fight, the first fight, which was a 5-round fight, 5-round war, but they beat the hell out of each other. Matter of fact, if you haven't seen the fight, it's fine. You should watch it. It's one of the best fights ever. But just because you haven't seen them aftermath, this is what they look like after the fight. All right, now they took a lot of damage in that fight. They said that the accumulated damage, the accumulated punches, the significant strikes, was a little bit more than what Lauren Murphy took in a 3-round fight. That fight should have been stopped. Let's just keep it at that. I understand why the fight, and now here's the thing, I understand why the fight wasn't stopped. She was getting beat up very badly. She was getting hurt on the feet completely. We all know that. She never dropped. And guess why she got rocked? She never did the stanky leg to the point where it's like the cage was holding her up. That's the situation where I said she was just too tough for her own good. She got beat the hell up. It was a massacre. Awful. Like probably one of the worst beatings you're gonna see this year. And I mean, but that's what Jessica Andrade do. People like I think I heard Paul Felder was just like, I think it was him. I'm not 100% sure, but I think it was him, where he was just like, her cardio is really holding up. But I'm like, bro, she has good cardio. Like, has cardio ever been an issue with her? Because I don't remember that. The girl has good cardio. She was gonna do that all day. If it was a 5-round fight, best believe it would have been 5 rounds of that same exact fight. She wasn't gonna slow down. But good fight for Jessica Andrade. Obviously, I'm not interested in seeing her in a title fight versus Valentina. That fight sucked. She got whooped, and she will get whooped again. I'm just, honestly, I'm at this point when it comes to Andrade, either fight Rose for a 3rd time, or I just want to see her in fun fights. Like, whoever's game, whoever's new, like I don't know. I just want to see her in fun fights. That's all I care about right now. I don't really think she's not championship caliber at 125. She's fun fight caliber. She's not gonna be Valentina though. She can win championships at 115, but Weili also looked pretty bad with her, so it's just tough for her. But I'm just interested to see a fun fight. It don't really matter. Lauren Murphy, I mean, I already said it before, man. Like, I'm happy you had a career you did. So let's move on. The third fight, not a fight that I mean, everybody knew, like, Neil Magny was gonna really, really have to pull something out of there to win this fight, and we were right. He lost pretty soundly, pretty easily. I should have picked first round submission. I don't know why I didn't when I really thought about it, because, like, he just got submitted last year, like in the first round, pretty easily. Of course, Gilbert Burns could have done it. Didn't think that through, but I did know that Gilbert was going to take him down and win. That was pretty simple. That was an easy one. Now, the fight that everybody was really there, the people's main event, the quad trilogy, to see who was the best. And I'm like I said, I put the nail on the head. Look, I told you guys. I said Brandon Moreno was going to be victorious. It was going to be by stoppage, and we know who's the better fighter now, man. We have to look. They fought 4 times. There's been 2 finishes, all by the same person, Moreno. And the crazy thing is, in both of those fights, Moreno was extremely dominant. It wasn't really particularly close, either fight. And the third fight was you could argue that Moreno won that fight. I think I had Figgy winning that, but it was 3-2. It was a close fight. Now with this fight, let's just go ahead and break it down. 1, Moreno's wrestling was phenomenal. His game plan was phenomenal. I love the way that he was circling to his right, and it seemed like he didn't really have an answer. Like Figgy didn't really have an answer to the game plans. 1, to the wrestling, and the beauty of the wrestling we already know. If you're fighting somebody who's like a Connor, who's like a Figueiredo, who can hurt you with 1 punch, it's so much easier to just wear their arms out by taking them down. You know, it doesn't matter if you didn't get it. The game plan ain't necessarily to get the takedown. It's just to get close to him, just so you can start pummeling. If you ain't never pummeled before, pummel in a real match. You will get tired. Press against the person against the cage. You're gonna wear the person out. It's exhausting. So perfect game plan. I love the kicks. I love the body. I love the boxing. And he just had his number. He was a quicker fighter. He had better cardio, better game plan. It was a dominant victory. And Figueiredo needs to fight Pantoja. Simple and plain. I believe they've already fought twice. 1 in the Ultimate Fighter, then they fought again. And then eventually that's when it got him cut. So, I mean, that has to be the fight. It needs to be the fight. And that really will also show us how much growth Moreno has gotten. Moreno's gotten better completely from the first fight to the second fight of Pantoja. He's gotten better from the freaking first, second, third fight from Figueiredo. So Brandon Moreno is about to be on the crack, and I cannot wait. I'm a big fan of him. He's an exciting fighter. He's an all-around good dude. Like it's gonna be fun to see him as champion. I'm happy he able to win the belt again and be able to make a lot of good money. So Figueiredo is going to 135. I don't think it's going to end well for him against the elite. He has a lot of holes in his games, and we'll see if his cardio, if him not cutting weight will help his cardio out. He still will be able to knock guys out, but 1, he doesn't have good defense, and he gets a little lazy. He can get caught up. 135, going against a Sanhagen, going against a Chito Vera, going against Sean O'Malley. Like there's a lot of dogs that's in that weight class that's a lot bigger than he is. I'm interested to see how that's going to pay off on him, but they should be fun fights. Now, the last fight, and I know I've been talking a little bit over, but I'm hoping not talk too long. But Jamal Hill versus Glover Teixeira, that's the one I was completely off on. You can even deduct me a couple points. Don't do it. Do not do it, Chris. I was joking. But I was way off. I did not, think that Jamal's cardio was going to be that good. I didn't think that he would be able to withstand all those takedowns. And I mean, I knew he had that dog in him, so that's not surprising. But I thought he was going to knock him out. I thought Glover was chinny. Glover's not chinny. I'm done with saying that. He's not. He ate so many punches. That fight could have been stopped too. He ate so many kicks. Like, I think he ate 3 kicks in a row and still was standing. Like, yo, that's crazy. Like, Glover has a chin still. And, I mean, it phenomenal performance. Like, I'm not going to say flawless because, obviously, you still gave us some takedown. And you still ate some really big shots from Glover. But yet still, like, you showed you had that dog in you, determination. I'm happy for Jamal Hill. Congratulations, champ. Good win. The person that should be next is Ankalaev or Jerry, but Ankalaev should be next. Ankalaev should be next, but Jerry's probably still nursing an injury. John, no, heck no. So, I mean, there's gonna be some fun fights. He's gonna have to shore up his wrestling more. He's 31, he's still youngish, so he can still develop better takedown defense. Because, I mean, granted, his takedown defense looked a lot better this fight than versus Santos. But yet still, look, Ankalaev is a different kind of wrestler. That's years of wrestling to be able to catch up to that. So we'll see how that goes. But once again, congrats, champ. Thanks for proving all of us wrong. This is what MMA's for. It's so much better when you're wrong because that means you were surprised or something happened that you didn't expect. And that's the best thing about MMA. But I would love to hear what you guys think about UFC 283 and what in the future you would love for me to talk about. Like, we could definitely just start picking up fans' content. It could be dream fights. It could be future fights, my opinion on certain situations. that's hopefully not political. But even if it is political, I'll still talk about it. I don't care. You agree or you don't. It is what it is. But yet and still, follow me on social medias at Papa Showtime, John Showtime. You can listen to me at Real 98.3 at iHeartRadio on the iHeartRadio app as well. #1 for hip hop and R&B. So if you love some hip hop, come and join your boy. But thank you guys for tuning in, man. Make sure y'all stay blessed.